and passengers?
It probably would have souls on board. Yeah, that's probably more than likely. And the airplane was probably 70, 80% full. So it was a good run for Air Canada. But the fact of the matter is that judging by what I saw
This
in the
happened in
pictures,
Newark.
you're probably going to have a lot of injuries on the airplane. When you slow down from 24 miles an hour to zero real quick, all kinds of stuff starts to move.
Gosh, and you know, Mike, when you talk about that, you talk about the injuries of the people on board, it just made me think, how many times have we been on a plane to where people take their seatbelts off before they get to the gate? And when you look at this plane up on its tail,
I never took my
that
seatbelt off.
could cause injuries to a lot of people.
Yeah, no, the good news is, I mean, yeah, historically, back in the old days, people unbelted themselves right away and got up. Now, usually people stay until that seatbelt sign is turned off. So I would suspect it's going to be things like, you know, the chairs coming out of the floor, things like that, or baggage moving up, you know, being thrown around inside the cabin. So the bottom line of it is we're going to have injuries, no question, broken bones, that sort of thing. Hopefully nothing more than that. I am concerned about that cockpit, though.
Right, of course. And then if you look at the truck underneath and the pieces of that, I mean, that's also concerning. You know, this is a question just because I don't know.
Another center, they said the pilot and the co-pilot is dead.
And that seems to be what you and the other guests that I spoke to seems to think that this was some sort of a communication error. This didn't have anything to do with, you know, the issues people are seeing at the airport. This was something different. If it was a communication issue and there was a glitch in the system or something like that, could people turning their cell phones on? I know they say keep your cell phone off until we're at the gate. Don't turn it on. Could this have maybe caused a glitch or a hiccup in the system to where the communication just the lines weren't crossing correctly?
We don't know. We really don't know because everything moving on that air side is supposedly controlled by a controller. And like everybody else, I've listened to the tape of that. I can't get much out of it in terms of what the truck was doing. He mentions truck, that sort of thing. But we're not going to know probably until early this morning, exactly what happened when. Again, it looks like the airplane was in the right spot at the right time, and we had a truck that wasn't.
I mean, this is going to warrant a news conference, don't you?
It was a fire truck.